is really petty. It is a grave transgression. But the following step was far filthier. This short, unsettling clip disappeared in a matter of seconds, sliding through the cracks like a digital ghost, as a result of rumors that Remy or someone close to her reacted by not sharing the footage with TMZ or YouTube. But those few it just took a few seconds to ruin. Reputations humiliate Claressa and make it clear that this was war. Claressa didn't back down in spite of this. Rather, she plunged headlong into the chaos. She hushed everyone with a tweet in response to the blogger's attempts to label her a home wrecker. "We have been enjoying our best lives since August of last year. I therefore genuinely valued our private friendship. None of the people making these decisions are familiar with the circumstances. Long before I was born, Papa and I had broken up." Because of her straightforward and fearless attitude, Claria's full power became apparent at that very time. Here, she is not begging for sympathy or approval. She is refusing to be the antagonist in anyone's story while standing on her toes. Claressa isn't trying to hide. In the midst of the confusion, she is erect. She also did more than simply speak. At the BET Awards, she made her first public appearance since the incident. To be honest, she seemed unconcerned by the mess and was grinning with confidence. "You're beaming, and we're aware that you've been rather outspoken about your new partner." There he is. "Hello, Papoose. What does it do? How does it feel to have your relationship publicly shown right now?" "Well, I've always disclosed my ties to the public. Since Papoose is a celebrity and I myself vowed never to date celebrities, I was going in a different direction with him." She made it clear that their love is unabashed. It was more than just making a pretty stance. It was addressed to Remy as well as the purists and critics of so-called black love. "This is not a fairy tale," Claressa told everyone. "It's real life, with all of its drama, beauty, and newsworthy events. He will never show you all his underscore. Instead, he will show you mine. However, there was a moment when he nearly struck me. And I said, dude, but he punched really, really hard and fast. Additionally, I'm glad that he shared my passion for boxing. Therefore, I don't believe I can defeat Pap in the battle. I also tell him not to toy with me, though." And she totally altered the storyline in a few short seconds. She lacked the other woman's cunning. Claressa departed as if it were the next official chapter in Papo's life due to the conflict between her and Remy. It didn't start yesterday. Since Remy Ma's scathing post last winter, this feud has been simmering with the description. "Papoose dumbly dozed off while talking on the phone with Claressa Shields, who was lying in my house. He won't abandon this beast. You should be a boxing world champion and intimidating." After publishing a screenshot from his phone, she reprimanded him. "Consequently, I don't think I can win the fight against Pap. However, I also told him not to play with me." And in a matter of seconds, she completely changed the plot. She was not as crafty as the other woman. Because of the dispute between her and Remy, Claressa left as though it were the next formal chapter in Papo's life. It didn't begin yesterday. Last winter, Remy Ma wrote, "This feud has been simmering with the description. While on the phone with Claressa Shields, who was lying in my house, Papoose dumbly fell asleep. He won't leave this beast alone. You ought to be frightening and a boxing world champion." She chastised him when he shared a screen grab from his phone. In a Sprinter van, Opap is said to have fainted. "I'm tired, and he wouldn't fuck you because you're ugly, but don't worry, I saw everything," she shot back. "The world will see how tough you are now." Claressa responded with additional leaked messages in an effort to defend her name, but the text just made things more difficult. "I know you hate playing online games, but you have to deal with this girl today," Claressa allegedly said to Papoose. "When my PR staff sees this, they will go bananas." Yes, the girl was Remy Ma. Claressa then expressed her frustration by saying, "I mentioned that I liked flowers and requested gifts since I'm tripping. I need some alone time since I'm tripping. I'm lying here feeling stupid because I'm tripping. Remy Ma refused to make it sweet as both ladies pushed themselves into the smoke. Papoose was only floating in the center of a storm and wasn't really selecting sides or locking in. It seems like Claressa was feeling abused and giving intense love out here. She attacked Claressa in a startling Instagram story, acting sternly. If you recently turned 30 and allegedly met a 47-year-old man 8 months ago, please refrain from speaking. He has 4 biological children and a 6-year-old infant, and I've known him since you were 10 years old. He made a commitment to you, infant. It was more than simply shade. A thunderstorm was present. The back and forth between Remy and Pap then started. It transformed private sorrow into a spectacle for the public. But when the time came for the Bet Awards, Claressa arrived with flawless curves and glowing skin, and Pap clutched her hand as though she were the first lady of his new era. Despite not being present at the wedding, Remy's silence was rather telling. Let's be honest, hardly anyone believed her when she said she was having the time of her life in Mexico. Her birthday photos were bright orange. Hatred started to flow. And as Claressa and Pap maintained their charade of being a loving couple, the haters swiftly arose after Claressa posted a picture of herself and Pap from the June 9th red carpet. You know he's old enough to be your dad, someone said. Claressa gave the clap back. Yes, it is also my father, the year's worst pair. Another commentator stated that this wouldn't last more than a year and a half, and again, Claressa became irate. Fake, we have already been dating for a year. The real question, though, is how long she can keep responding to the critics. And the stomach punch is just behind those comments. Everyone was reminded by someone of the original cause of the chaos. Why do all of you want others to fail? After all, the kids are the ones limited to the front row seats while a 6-year-old girl is locked in this combat zone. As the grown-ups strive for control, trauma develops in real time. Let's talk about Remy Ma. Who's the real VIP in this complex scenario? While the adults were out there hurling digital punches and showing off their receipts, this little princess was out there celebrating kindergarten with a joy that could melt the internet. With her sophisticated locks and a brilliant grin that was stronger than any rejoinder, she briefly paused the tempest and took center stage. At first, Remy Ma posted a compilation of her most adorable photos, grinning in all white and seeming as though she had just won a Grammy. Mackenzie, my twin, graduated from kindergarten today. The caption said, "She is everything." Then she placed a little stone, the sidebar. "No, over here, mommy," she said. "I want the sun to shine on my face." When we were taking photos, 2 sidebars. Remy said that her child makes all of her own fashion choices, including hairstyles and accessories. Complete boss energy at 6. Not to be outdone, Papoose also embraced his soft dad persona by combining both recent and vintage infant pictures in his own post. He concluded by saying, "Remember the most amazing and captivating child in the world. Parenting is the finest. Hood, and there were individuals in their industries." For a brief moment, we thought we were seeing the classic hip-hop ride-or-die sequences and Remy and Pap's love. Rather than in court or on blogs, they stood united at their daughter's graduation.